This is my new tradition. I make Death Sword character every league. Science Scourge League. What's up guys, Pidget here. As I always, I made a twist there. My budget for this build can be over Vine Divine or I made several changes since the last Death Oath build. Of course, I choose Occultist because it's the only ascender in the game that synergizes very well with the chaos damage and the curses, and has in-built explosion that will carry the build even on tier 16 maps. There is two things you need to know about this build. Let's start with the pros. Really cheap to get started. You only need one unique item to make the build working, which is the body armor. This will give us the Death Aura skill. You can get this skill otherwise. You don't need 6 link, it's just only 6 socket. You can easily farm currency to your next build because the entry cost of this build. You only using one button to play, which is the left click to move your character around, so you don't have to worry about the ability spam and you can rest your left hand or right hand, depends on what's your dominant hand. Because of that, you always moving, and this is almost the best defense in Path of Exile. You can do easily any side combat like Blight, Alva Inclusion or Expedition encounter. If you do Expedition, don't take the immune to curse modifiers, otherwise your main source of damage is gone. We have inbuilt Explosion, which is really satisfying to hear and good to see when the wall pack explodes. And the most important thing about this build, it's fun. I make every league a Death Oath character, and when I need to switch to another build, I get a little sad, because this build is so much fun to play and hard to switch back to spam abilities. I have a few bad news, the cons. You can't just start playing from this from the start. You need to reach level 62 to equip the body armor, and it has high strength requirement, so you need a leveling plan for each to this point. Luckily, I made a written leveling guide in the Path of Building under the notes section. So if you need it, check it out. This is not a boss killer character. So if you want to kill Uber bosses, this is not for you. This is only a mob pair. You can kill the mob boss, but if you choose a harder mob, you will struggle with the mob. On a side note, if you need a boss killer character, I put one build in the description. With that build, I cleared all the endgame without any issue. You can watch it after this. For mob bosses, we need to use a secondary ability to kill the boss. Your defenses is limited, so you can't face tank anything. You need to move all the time, otherwise you will die sooner than later. And if you choose a hard mob with hard mods on them, you will die no matter what. It could be a struggle, so be careful what map you run, because the cost of the build or defenses is only determination and more tension, and of course one more tension. When all of our flask is up, we become very tanky for a short time, but after that you need to watch out. Glorious Vanity Timeless Javel. With this Javel we will get Divine Flash Keystone. We take 50% elemental damage as chaos damage and give us maximum chaos resistance. Because of that, and the aura itself is damaging us when we kill enemies, and we start taking 350 chaos damage per second. So if you have minus 60 chaos resistance, that's converting to 560 damage per second, which will kill us under a few seconds. Luckily, the Ascendancy has inbuilt chaos resistance, and we take on the 3 extra chaos resistance, so it's not a big deal for us. So in a few words, cap your chaos resistance, but after a little tweaking, I got my chaos resist capped just with using the passive tree and the Ascendancy, so we don't have to invest to chaos resistance on gear. And maybe the hardest part with this build, you need off colors for the chest piece, because it's a strength based item, so you will see mostly red socket. But don't worry, I will tell you how to off color your chest or any item later in the video. First of all, I would like if you hit the like button like the shaper hitting the elder, so it can start spread to more people. Thank you! I just want to highlight a few items you need in the build. The most important piece of gear is the Death Oath unique body armor. This is the core of the build. The good thing about this, you don't need to link, just put in the support gems and you good to go. You need 2 blue, 2 green and 2 red socket to able socket your best support gems. You need to use the crafting bench trick to get your off color. First, start with 2 off colors, then use 3 socket and hope you hit green. Proceed to go 4 socket, and if you not hit another green, just go back to 3 socket and do again till you get. When you hit 2 blue and 2 green, you almost done. just press 5 socket and 6 socket and you die. Sadly, there is a little chance you will also hit another off color, so you need to go back 4 or 5 sockets till you get the rest. In presence, unique amulet with despair has no mana reservation if cast as an aura, so you can fit more auras in the build. The anointing Bannerman. Because we're using caustic arrow as our secondary source of damage, we need to use a 6-link bow. You can get one for really cheap with +2 socketed bow gems, and if you get lucky with your purchase, you can craft chaos multiplier on your bow, but if you can't, don't worry about it. On our gloves needs a specific implicit chaos damage over time multiplier. We can use Despair has increased curse effect enchantment on our helm. I just bought a base and I used one signal greed essence for the life roll. The rest is just a few rare items with life and attributes for our chest piece. We're using a single unique jewel in our tree, namely Glorious Vanity Timeless Jewel, and it needs to be with this line, sacrificed in the name of Tsiwukwa. And you need socket here where you can see in the screen, and take this node Divine Flesh, which is transformed from the Pain Attunement node. The rest of the jewels is just rare with life and generic damage over time or chaos damage over time multiplier. We're taking Occultist as our Ascendancy, because this is the only Ascendancy in the game that synergizes really well with the Death Oath. The notables are in order are the following. In your first lab, you take a Void Beacon, a really good node early in the leveling process. It will increase your damage, and Science 3.18, most of the enemies monsters have high life regen. With this node, we will completely nullify their regen. Second lab, we take Withering Presence. This will give us a huge amount chaos resistance, and we will increase the chaos damage the enemy take if we standing nearby. Third lab, you take Profane Bloom. This is our clear. Our enemies will explode when they die. When you complete your Uber lab, take Malediction as your last Ascendancy. This will give us an extra curse and we take less damage from the cursed enemies by 10%. Gem and Gemlings, starting with our main links in our body armor. Efficacy, Concentrated Effect, Void Manipulation, Swift Application, Less Duration, and Life Theft Support. Or secondary source of damage, Caustic Arrow, Efficacy, Vicious Projectiles, Concentrated Effect, Swift Application, and Void Manipulation. In our gloves, our Curse Setup, Blasphemy Support, Despair, and Arrogance Support, and Skitterbots. In our boots, Cost 1 damage taken with Molten Shell, only level 10, Cost 1 damage taken only level 1, otherwise your cost 1 damage taken setup don't work, Flame Dash, and Life Tap. In our helmet, Determination, Malevolence, Withering Step for the Wither debuff, and Defiance Banner for even more armor and little bit of extra evasion rate. I hope you enjoyed this video about Death Oath Occultist, and if you have any question, please let me know under the comments section. I was Puget, and thanks for watching guys, and see you next time.